What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. So, what's interesting about this show right now is that in one episode, we'll get a lot about the Scotts, and then in the next episode, you won't even see those people because we're going to focus on the rest of the cast. I don't know why they're doing it that way, but you know what? At this point, I'm like, you know what? To tell the full story, let me just review 2 episodes at a time, right? Okay, so, first things first. There was a situation, okay, that definitely happened in an episode that could have been prevented. And here's that thing. So we start off with Destiny going to go see Kimmy because they have some paperwork that they need to go over. That's totally fine. However, here's where things got a little bit wonky for me. Destiny decided to tell Kimmy that, the issues with her and Tisha is the fact that Tisha has friends Tourette's, okay? 1 minute, that girl is cool with you, and then the next minute, she's yelling at you, saying how, I'm mad at you. Oh, you pissed me off about this. In the most random settings. And here's the thing. Destiny told no lies. She told absolutely no lies about Letitia, because the way Letitia operates is very middle school. Because if you my friend, you can't talk to those people that's not my friend. Like, that's the vibe that I get from Letitia. However, here's the thing. Girl, you told the wrong fucking person. Why would you tell Kimmy this? That's where you dropped the ball, Destiny. Because at the end of the day, Destiny, these people are not going to ride for you. Okay? Letitia and Kimmy are going to ride for each other, but they're not going to ride for you. And hell, you really should have been side-eyeing both of them, because when Letitia said, oh, you that hoe in the box, Kimmy didn't interject. Kimmy didn't say, all right, Letitia, that's doing too much. She never did that for you. So why would you go confide anything in her? And here's the thing. What she said, honestly, was not anything to carry back. However, we are on a TV show, and Kimmy, y'all know, Kimmy has been very messy. And speaking of her being messy, I find it interesting that she decides to ask Destiny about the whole Chris Fletcher thing. And like in the way that she did it, oh, I've done business with everybody, on the cast except for the Fletchers. What business did you do with Trish? I'll wait. What business did you do with her? Be so for real. Also, if Chris is already a broker, he don't need you. Why would he need to partner up with you if he's already a broker? I can understand if, y'all had like some big dealings, but it's Huntsville. Stop playing. Like, I really just want Kimmy to be honest and be like, you know what? I don't really like the Fletchers like that. Like, I want her to just come out and say it, because what she's doing right now is stupid. Like, you don't like them people. You are wishing and hoping that every time that you bring it up on this show, somebody else is going to dog them, but they're not doing that. That's the vibe that I'm getting. Now, what's crazy is that after that conversation was had, at some point, Kimmy talked to Tisha. And then when we see Tisha and her husband, they talk about how, oh my gosh, Destiny was dogging me out. She was talking so bad about me. I thought we were cool. Tisha, are you on drugs? Why would you think you were cool with this girl when you told her, oh, I'll put you in that hoe over there category? Excuse me? No. Y'all not cool. And let's be completely honest. Y'all invited yourselves on that trip to Detroit. She was just telling y'all, which blows my mind, because Destiny, I don't even understand why you told them anything. Once Tisha said you gonna be put in that category, I would have just gone ahead and got up. Baby, we're not friends. We never will be friends. Because here's the thing. The only reason why y'all was even cool was because y'all had a common enemy. Well, baby, Mel's gone. Y'all have no other reason to be friends. And it's very clear that y'all are 2 different people. I mean, I must say, Destiny has definitely grown. In this season, this is probably her best season yet. And Tisha, girl, you have regressed. Now, speaking of this, while Tisha is talking to her husband, he's telling her how, he done got into it with not 1 person, but 2. And what's crazy to me is that at no point did Tisha be like, well, I mean, it has been a long time since, you said you were going to work on this project for Maurice and Kimmy? Do you think maybe you took on more than you could handle? Because I definitely think that's what he does. I think that man takes on way too much, way more than he has the staff to actually complete projects. And also, he just moves extremely slow. Keep in mind, this has not been a new thing. Everybody has said that man works very slow. Okay? I don't know if he's trying to, keep people on the hook longer, so they have to keep paying more. I don't know what that is. But, Marcel, you really need to get it together. Now, here's the thing. At this point, Tisha decides, I'm going to confront Destiny about what she said about me. Okay, cool. But here's where things went wrong. Because when she went to go see Destiny, she shaded her. The first thing that she said was like, I brought you this. I think it was a bottle of champagne or something. And she was like, but I don't even think this is your listing, right? And keep in mind, Destiny's like, no, but I'm the one who's showing the house today, which is absolutely okay in real estate. I don't know why Tisha was trying to make such a big deal about it, but she was absolutely trying to belittle Destiny and what she got going on. You can tell. So at this point, they have the conversation about what is going on with the friendship. And y'all, Tisha was all over the place. Tisha was all over the place when it came to this argument because she knew she was losing and it was stupid. For her to then yell and be like, and then you told Kimmy? Tisha, first of all, you need to bring it down a notch. Secondly, what was said is not that crazy. 1 minute, you're mad at her for, being in the middle. It's cool when y'all cracking jokes on Nell, but it's a problem if she takes up for Nell and say, you know what, Nell got a lot going on. It was an issue. Girl, bye. Letitia, you need to get it together, okay? I'm sorry, you can't be the main couple of this, of this franchise if you are acting so childlike. Everything about Letitia gives off child. When she gonna run and tell her mama to do her dirty work. You know what I'm saying? Her being mad at Destiny because Destiny was trying to be, pretty balanced when it came to being in the middle of the Nell and Letitia drama. Also at this point, what are we mad at? Because you and Nell have made up. So what are you yelling at? You know what I mean? What are you mad at Destiny for? This is stupid. Also, what's crazy to me is that Destiny was like, okay, so can you tell me what I said or what I did that was so wrong? Amnesia. Letitia can't remember anything. So I'm just like, girl, if you can't remember anything, then stop trying to bring it up. And then for her to tell Destiny, because you're making smart remarks with your eyes and with your facial expressions. Tisha, you sound crazy right now. You absolutely sound ridiculous. And I mean, this argument, it got so bad that Letitia, she storms out or whatever. They yelling out F you to each other. I'm like, there's no coming back. Because once you start yelling out F you and all of that, we ain't good. We're not. So this carries on to the next episode when Destiny goes to talk to the Fletchers and, they just kind of recapping on both sides their experience with Scott 1.0. Fletcher feels some type of way about Marceau and Destiny feels a way about Letitia. Now, I will say Nell was trying to be in the middle and be like, you just need to ask her this and that. And it's like, no, she asked her, Nell. She absolutely asked her. And Letitia was so busy trying to be an asshole. And she just completely ignored the fact that she don't even have no real reason. Okay? She just want to be right. And that's her problem. But you know what? Let's go ahead and move on from that situation. Because now we got to talk about Ken and Trish. Y'all, when I tell you I'm so confused by them. Number one, I want them off the show. Them, Martell, maybe a couple other people can all leave the show at this point. Because why are you here? This man sat down with his homeboy to tell him how, I saw you, in a whole nother city with a whole nother woman. I'm sorry, say what now? You flew out to be with a whole nother girl. Or should I say woman? You and Trish are done. Okay? And the fact that that man was like, oh no, she's more feminine and she's softer. Baby, that ain't never been Trish. You can look at Trish and tell that she's hard as a rock. Okay? She's the tough girl. So, baby, if that's who you want to be with, go be with her. But really, y'all, you know, my question was with Ken and this other woman, does she have children? Does this other woman have children? Because y'all know he's obsessed with dating women who have kids. And my second question is, does she have a current husband? Because again, he likes to date women who also have husbands. That's my question. Okay? This man basically says that, you know, his whole point was to embarrass Trish. He wanted her to feel some type of way because he wants to get a reaction out of her. Y'all, are we listening to this? Ken is just as trash as the next. But also what's pissing me off is that when they decide to meet up in the next episode and talk about this, we had to sit through them both saying how at some point they both had somebody. So y'all were completely broken up. Why are y'all playing on this TV screen as if y'all would just, you know, we're working it out. We're working it out. You're fucking on somebody else. You're not trying to work it out. Stop telling yourselves these lies. The only reason why y'all trying to work it out is to stay on this goddamn show. That has to be the only reason. Because none of this makes any type of sense. Because I don't understand how, by the time the end of that conversation happened, there's no way y'all could have told me that they was going to say, let's work it out. How? It made absolutely no sense. And also, I don't like the fact that Ken sat up there and took all the brunt of, oh, you know, I had somebody else I was talking to. But she said she did as well. So where's your accountability, girl? Y'all, I need them off the show. I cannot stand Trish and Ken at this point. Because I just feel like their whole relationship is bullshit. But you know what? What do I know? What do I know? Maybe they really love each other. Even though she's yet to be divorced to her ex-husband. Or should I say her current husband? Because they're not what? Divorced. Absolutely ridiculous. So, the last thing I want to talk about is the Fletcher family. Here's my thing, y'all. I feel like we started off with this show being about Nell and Chris being added on. I didn't realize we would get so much storyline about them fucking kids, okay? Who are grown. Y'all, I will say this. I support Nell in everything that she told her son Lance. Especially because I think it's absolutely crazy for you to bring over every girl to your mama house that you fucking on. Absolutely not. If you just sleeping with her, don't bring her to my house. If you serious about her, yes, she can come over. We can kind of integrate her into the family. What you're not about to do is bring 10 different women over here and it's, you know, a short time span. Negro, no. And the fact that he was trying to stand on the fact that it's okay for him to do that, baby, Neil wasn't better than me because him and that girl will be standing right outside the fucking door. You won't be getting into my house. I don't care to meet anybody new that you sleeping with. Because that's exactly what it is. He's not even really dating them, really trying to pursue them, it sounds like. He just fuck on them and go. Like, it's crazy. So then also Nell is feeling a type of way because at the end of the day, the sons, who are the ones who have children, they don't pick their kids up when they supposed to. You know, they just doing a lot. And not doing what they supposed to be doing when it comes to raising their kids. And here's the sucky part for Nell, is that as a grandmother, you don't want those grandkids to suffer. So you take the grandkids. Because if you don't got them, who the fuck knows who Lance gonna leave the kids with? Probably some random girl that he's talking to. You know what I'm saying? And you would rather those kids be in a safe place. I understand her. And another thing, y'all. What's crazy to me is that Lance was really trying to stand 10 toes down on the fact that he's 34 years old with 3 kids by 3 different women. No, sir, that still sounds crazy. I don't care how you try to flip that. It sounds crazy, okay? Because the way y'all try to bring up the whole last baby mama, it sounds like she was an unfit person. So you just laying down with anybody. And I can't lie. the whole doing life thing with the motion and the gesture that Nell was doing had me laughing. Cause you out here doing life. But besides that, I also gave Lance a side eye where he was trying to say, oh, it's a double standard when, men, they date after the relationship versus when women date. No, I think across the board, everybody thinks that there should be a decent amount of time before you keep introducing these random motherfuckers to your kids, nigga. Are you okay? What is wrong with you? Like, I don't understand what is wrong with Lance, okay? And here's the thing. Of course, people gonna say, oh, it's a reflection of Nell and Chris and how they raised Lance. No, these are Lance grown-ass decisions, okay? These are absolutely Lance grown-ass decisions that he's making. And I don't think we can blame Nell and Chris for how he acted. I don't think so. I don't think we can say, oh, well, they should have raised him to treat women. Because Chris, it's very clear. Chris, he treats Nell with the utmost respect, okay? And yes, we have seen, them get into it a little bit or whatever. But I think definitely in front of those kids, especially with them growing up, I'm pretty sure he never tried to dog Nell out. Like I said, especially in front of the kids. But where Lance is coming from, sir, go on somewhere, please. Now, last thing I want to talk about real quick, because this still has to do with, the Fletcher family. Twan goes to talk to Destiny, right? This was so weird to me, because the more I look at him, the less I'm attracted to him. I said, he ain't that cute. Okay, he really not. But nonetheless, so they're talking, and the thing is, we still doing the whole you can guard my body jokes. This is played, because if the nigga wanted to see you, he would have hit you up by now. It's very clear there's nothing going on here. That's the first thing. Second thing that I want to say is the way he brought up this whole rumor situation about him and Kayla. I'm like, sir, just admit that, I got something going on with somebody else. Like, what are we doing here? Now, for Destiny to go run back and tell Nell, I said, girl, you about to get this lady hypertension. Why are you going back to tell Nell? And of course, Nell is feeling some type of way because this is her godson, this is her daughter, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. They are grown. They are grown. They can do whatever they want to do. But it's very weird because then I think Nell starts to think about well, hold on. Because I think there's an age gap. Okay, I think there has to be an age gap between Twan to Kayla. I think there's probably a decent age gap there. And she probably trying to figure out, so were you trying to look at her when she was younger? We got to figure this out. I think that may be her perspective of well, how long this been going on? Were you looking at her when she was underage? What is happening right now? But at the end of the day, Nell, what I want you to do is stop worrying about these goddamn kids. They are grown. They are going to make mistakes. And at the end of the day, you got to let them fall. You have got to let them fall, because at the end of the day, if you keep picking them up, they're going to keep doing the same things over and over again. But y'all, that is what I have to say about Love and Marriage Huntsville. I feel like there's not a lot going on, but maybe it's about to pick up. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Go ahead and comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.